Hey guys. So, as Joel and I are watching videos online by different content creators in the Red Pill community, we notice a trend, which is like high value men, so called, like the ginger with the blue suit, or the Tate brothers, or even Tucker Carlson, whom he's a great journalist, we're a big fan of him. But one thing that these gentlemen peddle is your purpose is being, is leaving a legacy, is procreating, is propagating the earth, particularly to women. Like, they think that the only reason that women should want to get married to a man is to fulfill their purpose. And their purpose is having a baby and being a mother. And this leads to a series of snowballing of poor ideologies because they're focusing all of the woman's identity and purpose on the baby, and the man comes out of the picture entirely. And so what you'll notice over time is that when you do this, when Ginger Man, when the blue suit says stuff like, you want to be a mother because that's your purpose, like, we know that having children is a byproduct of marriage. But nowadays, because women are told that it's their purpose is to have a baby, they don't even care if they're married anymore. They're just having babies no matter what. So they've completely taken the man out of the picture and they're focusing on the baby. And even in marriage, the women, this is the false dichotomy about this. The women think that they will glean fulfillment from the child. More often than not, the woman does not get fulfilled from the child. She actually gets drained from the child. And this is like the unspoken truth that nobody talks about because it's a little distasteful, but you become drained. And the woman's like, oh no, I'm supposed to be like super fulfilled. They become confused. Whatever, check out our video about babies. But because the woman isn't fulfilled and the guy is telling her, oh, you should be fulfilled with having babies, she's like, okay, then give me another baby. So then he gives her another baby, and then she wants another one because it's just an empty, the vacuum isn't filled. The way you fill the vacuum is with wisdom and knowledge and understanding and the study of history. And you get that from your husband. You don't get that from a baby. So the woman's purpose and fulfillment is to be a wife and to be married and to be united to a man. That's her purpose. Children are a byproduct of that, and you can never neglect the husband, because if it weren't for the husband, you wouldn't have children. You and your children would not survive. So what happens when they're like peddling this focus on the woman's purpose as being a birther rather than a helpmate is that they don't get fulfilled having children. They demand having more children. The husband gets stressed, the entire dynamic, like the more you have to divide your energy up, the lower the quality. That's just the truth at the end of the day. So usually 90% of the time, the husband is going to get left behind because she's thinking, my purpose is for the children, right? The children. And so many women justify leaving the husband because their focus is on the children. Oh, I got to protect the children. Oh, I got to take care of the children from their own father, which is so twisted and sick in its own way. And so it actually, women use this weird, in a weird psycho way, quite frankly, they use this ideology to justify themselves leaving the husband because he is not her priority. The children are her priority. So the husband is left behind for the sake of the children. So many times this is the case. And they just assume that having more kids is going to fulfill them. They like keep wanting it more and more. But the husbands, we talk about women's obligation to the husband, and a lot of the guys are saying, oh, as soon as I give her a baby, she'll be satisfied. She'll be content and fulfilled. But that's not going to quench her thirst. The bread of life is wisdom, is the plan of salvation, right? You guys like that kind of cheesy line, but it's true. That is the most fulfilling hope to look forward to. So, and history is a big part of that picture. So rather than just give your woman more chores to do and more kids to look after, you should be teaching her history. And then she will be teaching the kids history. And that is actually a much more fulfilling aspect than just making sure that they're fed and that they have toys to play with. You know, it gives the child a purpose. It gives the woman a purpose in partaking in the learning experience rather than just like eating and feeding and shopping. You know, it's quite mundane. It's just monotonous. So please remind women their purpose is to be a wife, to help the husband with his purpose, and the husband's purpose, as we know, is to help Yahuwah with his purpose. So the purpose is going upwards, right? It's aspirational. It's not like the children are the byproduct, but they are not your purpose. Plenty of people build an empire or whatever, or they work as a store manager and they think they're leaving a legacy with the kid. Kid doesn't want anything to do with them. You have no guarantee with your children. So what? A disaster happens, God forbid a disaster happens and you lose your child and then you have no purpose in life anymore. Like, there are more things than just reproducing. It's very animalistic. Everybody is related. We're all seed of life, and everybody, you know, you want to plant seeds. It's not just a vessel. It's also an idea. And that's really a very evolutionary outlook that a lot of people have. And we talk about that in our hour-long video that we go into detail about this, but just constantly craving to reproduce is not only narcissistic, but it's an evolutionary priority. And we should be caring about people's eternal souls, not if they have your gene, your blood, yada, yada, yada. So just keep that in mind when you watch these podcasts and they're like, your purpose is to make babies and you will be happy once you make babies. And then the women have the babies and they're like, I'm not happy. It's all the man's fault. Well, if you told her that she's going to be happy doing that, then that creates a false expectation. And you're making yourself vulnerable to a lot of things, like losing your child with a bitter woman in today's culture. So just keep that in mind when you see these videos. They should be saying your purpose is to be a helpmate to your husband. It doesn't mean you have to be in and out of all of his business shenanigans. It's being an emotional support. And in any way that he needs you, you're there for him, not just to make a baby. So again, teach your wives history. Teach them, teach them, teach them. Encourage them to study. Encourage them to read. Give them material. We'll give a list of excellent YouTube history channels that we like to learn from. Do it with them. Encourage them to think and ask questions about history, about theology. Answer, look into it together. There's always more to uncover. You're never going to hit a wall. So that should be your priority, not just handing her a baby and be like, okay, you're good to go now. It's not going to be enough. The more babies you have, the more errands you have, the more side businesses you have, these are all distractions. And women love distractions because it takes them away from confronting sin and correcting people, because really that's a battle. And it's confrontational, it's uncomfortable, but that's what we're called to do. So stop distracting yourself. Your wife is your first ministry. Women are 50% of the population. You can't pretend like they're not there. So you have to teach a woman, to also be able to relate to other men who are dealing with women. And if you can reach a woman, you can reach anybody, basically. But yeah, do not neglect this responsibility. And once you are together in this purpose, she will help you further it. So keep that in mind. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends. Check out the video, Is Wise to Make Babies, and we'll catch you on the next one.